between 81 to 83 was like a lost generation of people that are in this gray area that don't really have a spot in this timeline. So it was kind of weird. I have noticed that when I am with groups of people, I generally side with Gen X more than millennials in my train of thinking.
That's kind of an interesting point, though. I'd be interested to see, like, if those kind of gray zones exist in all of the different changes to generations, like between baby boomers and Gen X, or between maturists and baby boomers, or even between millennials and Gen Z. Because, like, I'm sure that there are some kids who were born in 95, 96 who identify more with me than they do with this new Gen Z era.
But I think a big part of it is between Gen X and Millennial is a huge transition.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's quite as big of a fight whether you're a baby boomer or a Gen X or a Millennial versus a Gen Z than it is for a Gen X versus a Millennial, because it's like this huge gap that I don't think that separation in mindset happens in the other generational changes.
You know, I used to have a boss who he was like firmly Gen X, and he would talk about other employees and he would be like, well, that's just the millennial in them. They don't want to work very hard and they don't want to do anything. And mom and I had several conversations about it. And so I would start sentences like, okay, like I know that I'm supposed to be a millennial, but I don't feel that way for all of these specific reasons. And she finally was like, Callie, you have got to loosen up on your definition of what it means to be a millennial. You're okay. You don't have to fit every single box of what a millennial is. That's okay. And so I think that there are some generational gray areas everywhere. I mean, I don't want to get on every single social media platform, but then I saw something, I was talking about instant messaging, and I was like, oh my God, I missed that so much. And I started thinking, I was like, isn't that just texting? But you don't have your away messages where you can put your favorite song lyric of what you're feeling right now, and thinking back to MySpace pages and things like that. Like, we're in 8th grade sitting there becoming little miniature coders because that's what you had to do to customize and make this play and all of this.
Tom, you're still number one, bud.
Everybody in our generation knew Tom, and you automatically had a built-in friend. Like, I feel like that changed it. See, she doesn't even know.
No, it took me a minute to remember who Tom was.
Yeah.
That's funny.